Good morning, IHSA Football family. It is Games of the Week. Coach Big Pete, week 5. Week 6, I apologize. I'm still living in week 5. I do apologize. My name is Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. publisher of DeepDishFootball.com. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Coach Big Pete, a.k.a. Pierre Lineweber. Visit DeepDishFootball.com. New article talking about the games of the week as well. And again, my email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. And let's get over with some of what just the quick reminders. Again, Deep Dish Football Live, 6 p.m. tonight, Wednesday. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, Saturday, 9 a.m. on Saturday. Thursday, DuPage Run Shoot show with me and my co-host Patrick Codo. Make sure you follow DuPage Run Shoot show on Twitter and Facebook as well. And as always, make sure I have your stats, players, coaches, parents. Get me those stats. Have a chance to nominate your player or team, special offensive line, for awards as a player of the night in the state of Illinois and Hog Unit of the Night, best offensive line unit in the state of Illinois. Send me those stats. Email coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. I'm also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. Send me those DMs and send me those stats. Get me those stats so I can put up the nominations and select who wins. Make sure I have your nominations, people. I beg of you. Make sure that. And again, Sunday conclusion article, which comes out on Sunday, I get to highlight some of the top performers in the state of Illinois. And again, I'm looking especially at small schools, Northern, Southern Illinois, Central Illinois, small rural schools. Get me those stats. Been lacking this year. Please give me those stats so I can get those stats up on my article. And again, sorry about that. Article on deepdishfootball.com for the games of the week. And let me tell you something right now. What a week. This week for week 6. I keep saying week 5, but week 6 is going to be a crazy week. I'm telling you that right now. These are some big games we're talking about. Some conference deciders. We get to see the difference between who's the pit and who's the poodle. Who's the contender and who's the pretender. This is the most important week in IHSA football for this year, and we got some big ones. There's some big games. I'm telling you that right now. Some scary, scary games. And again, go on to a little bit of a morality points and just a few things. Again, first of all, playoff points. And I know people look at playoff points, and I stress this all the time. I tell teams, especially some of the coaches, well, what about our playoff points? I don't do playoff points. I'm horrible with math. But playoff points overall, don't look at it. You win and you're in. That's the most important thing. I feel that it acts as a distraction to a team. It distracts a team. I coached them when we were looking at playoff points. It distracted our team. So, again, don't really look into playoff points, especially this time of the season. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to lose, then we're going to win. Don't do it. It doesn't help. Also, and again, parents, I did a rant on TikTok about this. Parents that talk shit about kids using fake burner accounts that they're parents of recruits or even adults. It's pitiful. It's sad. It's disgusting. And you need fucking help. You really do. Stop comparing your son to another recruit. Don't do that. It's bad. It really is bad. I got parents talking shit about other kids on Twitter, Facebook, Reddit. It's sad. You get banned. You get blocked. It's pitiful. I got a parent that's talking total crap. Son graduated and is still angry talking crap about a son of a coach who's highly recruited. It's sickening. It makes me sick. You shouldn't be doing that crap. For me to tell a grown adult to act like a grown adult, I shouldn't have to be saying that. Don't do it. You're angry? I understand your anger. Your son's not getting recruited. Your son's not Division I. Don't be that way. Don't hold a grudge that your son didn't get recruited or any of that BS. Take a chill pill. Act like a fucking adult. That's the most important thing. You act like an adult. And I apologize for language, but it has to be said. All right, and I'm sorry. Let's get back into the regular scheduled program. DuPage versus Lena Winslow. Again, one of the biggest small school games. Lena Winslow undefeated. DuPage undefeated. Hoffman at quarterback, looking unbelievable for DuPage. Lena Winslow's rushing attack, impeccable. And this is going to be a great game in NUIC. Big shout to NUIC Fanatics. Kyle Campere, make sure you check them out. NUIC Fanatics, they're on Facebook and Twitter as well. Rova versus Stark County, undefeated Stark County. Great rushing attack. Very impressed. They got a freshman lineman, by the way. Keep an eye out for him. Sainer. But the good game is you want to check out Rova versus Stark County. Wakanda versus Antioch. Wakanda, 1 game, 1 loss, going against an Antioch team that is undefeated. You talk about a Big'em game. That's a Big'em game right there. That's a big game up north. And again, Wakanda looked really good overall with my predictions because I saw them in the summer. Look good. For the Antioch team, overall, offensive-wise, impeccable. Nick Day, a player you got to keep an eye out for. They got a bunch of, again, multi-purpose athletes on that Antioch team. Definitely a thing you got to check out. Next one, St. Rita versus Loyola Academy. The St. Rita Mustangs have 1 loss. Loyola Academy undefeated. This is a great challenge for the Loyola Academy, especially if they stop the running, if they stop that rushing attack and the roll-off passes of St. Rita. And overall, DJ Stewart is an absolute stud for St. Rita. Loyola, just unbelievable. Quarterback Fitzgerald, great overall tight ends, wide receiver, good linebacking core, great solid defense. This is a game that you got to check out for. Sacred Heart Griffin, Glenwood. Glenwood gets upset by MacArthur last week. And a little bit of a surprise. They take on a Sacred Heart Griffin team that had 1 loss, and that was the Normal Community High School. This is a big game for the Central State 8. Again, big thing for Glenwood is their defense. That's gonna be huge because they had some mistakes last week. So this is gonna be a good game. Hershey versus Prospect. Hershey undefeated with Colton Gamino. Hanson. Hanson from. No, I'm mixing up names from the past. I apologize. They got a great tight end. Overall offensive line going against the Prospect, good young quarterback, and that's very impressive, Skoog. And overall receivers, this is going to be a game you got to check out. Morris versus Richmond Burden, the battle of undefeateds. Morris looking strong. Carter Budden, unbelievable at quarterback. AJ Zweers, great two-way athlete. Running back Schwartz. This Morris team is stacked, and they're taking on a tough Richmond Burden team. Their line has proven everything. They are great, tall, athletic wide receivers, and overall size. This is going to be a big game. Naperville Central versus Naperville North, in a battle for Naperville, and again, battle for lead. And Naperville North looking strong, but again, they've had a few weak games. They've lost. Naperville Central's looking like the strong competitor. Jack Cook. Another great quarterback, Kuda, linebacker, Maverick Ole at defensive end. Another game you got to check out. Next one, South Elgin, Glenbard South. 2 undefeated teams. Can Glenbard South? They haven't beaten South Elgin. It's been a long time since they beat them. Can this Glenbard South team get the big win over the South Elgin team? Can they stop that option run? And the big thing I see too is for South Elgin's defense, again, they got to stop Cam Williams and they got to put pressure on Michael Champagne. Big game. Merrill Forsyth versus Olympia. Merrill Forsyth has looked unbelievable. Caden Maurer, another player to keep an eye out for. Overall, good size at offensive line. Olympia, they have done an unbelievable job, especially linebacker Litweiler. They have done a good job at recouping their losses at graduation in the summer. Olympia looking very strong, but it's going to be a big game in the Sagamore Conference. Bolingbrook versus Lincoln Way Central. Lincoln Way Central keep going with the steam of their wonderful season, taking on a tough Bolingbrook team. Again, big thing is can they force Bolingbrook's quarterback into mistakes? That's going to be huge for Lincoln Way Central. And for Bolingbrook's defense, they can't be porous. They have to put a stop to that running attack of Lincoln Way Central. All right, let's go down some more. Batavia versus Geneva, the big battle in the Duquesne Conference. The Batavia Bulldogs take on the Geneva Vikings, and the Geneva Vikings, I gotta say, unbelievable. Very, very impressed with their season. This Batavia team, they've won the games that we thought they were going to win. They lost the games that we thought they were going to lose, but they still gave Lincoln Way East the battle. Overall, the big thing for Batavia, and I see this huge is for the defense is again applying pressure, and again not giving up yardage on the run and forcing them in the passing situations, third and longs. Mahmoud Seymour takes on Mount Zion. Mount Zion is undefeated. Mahmoud Seymour's one loss, a big time game for the Bulldogs. And again, Mount Zion's looking unbelievable. J.C. Anderson, that whole group, that especially the offense, two high powered offenses facing each other. It's going to be a battle of who the defense stops and how many stops they can get. Bloomington Central takes on St. Joseph Ogden, and Bloomington Central Catholic, unbelievable. Colin Hayes is on fire. You talk about a big time game for Bloomington Central Catholic. They've won their big time game last week. This week, I think this is going to be a great decider for the Bloomington Central Catholic in their respective conference. Boylan Catholic takes on Hanahu. I hate that. That school's name's going to kill me. But Boylan Catholic looking great. Connor Dennis, overall running attack defense looking strong. Again, the Indians, they have had a wonderful season. Both teams undefeated. And I see this again as this is the Nick 10 championship game. Mount Carmel takes on Brother Rice in a big rivalry game. I know it's a big Southside rivalry game, and you got to definitely talk about it. So Mount Carmel, overall, I just don't see them. I think the next big challenge they got is Loyola Academy. But Brother Rice, again, they're on and off. Keep an eye out for Donovan Brown of Brother Rice. DGN versus York, the big battle in the West Suburban Conference. And again, Downers Grove North, this is their big season. I saw them as York from last year. This is a big proving point game. This is a definite decider for DGN. And this York team, their ability to bounce back, and especially with the seniors that they lost. Milton has done a wonderful job taking over for Veza. So this is going to be another game to check out. Moments versus Salt Fork. Moments is undefeated. Congratulations to the Moments Redskins as they take on a tough Salt Fork team. Again, overall size in the line. Moments a little bit smaller on that defensive line. We will see. Northwestern Greenfield takes on West Central. Big battle in the WIVC. Another interesting game because Greenfield is currently, I think Northwestern's undefeated. Yes, they are. Greenville versus Vandalia. Greenville got the big win last week. Got the big win last week against Pana. They take on a tough Vandalia team. And overall, with this Greenville team, overall rushing attack is a big thing for them. Harrisburg versus Carterville. Another big game in Southern Illinois. Carterville looking strong. Quarterback slinged it last weekend. 4 touchdowns. In Harrisburg, Carmelo Downey had an unbelievable game rushing. The star running back that you must know about. This is a game to look out for. Quinoa versus Princeton. Princeton, after their tough, surprising loss to Morrison, they've bounced back. They only have one loss, taking on the Quinoa Boilermakers, who are undefeated. Another big small school game. Oswego versus West Aurora. Oswego got their first loss last week to Plainfield North. Can they bounce back against a West Aurora team that is undefeated? And the big thing for Oswego again will be getting after Terrence Smith, the receiver, and overall not letting any of the secondary receivers take over that spot and putting up major yardage against this Oswego defense. That's going to be huge. And for West Aurora's side, controlling and possessing the ball is going to be huge on that for the West Aurora Blackhawk team. All right, let's go down some more. Hillcrest versus Lamont. Now, overall, Lamont, they're bouncing back after a couple tough losses against the Hillcrest team that's on fire right now. This Hillcrest Hawk team is a team that you must know about. They have been firing on all cylinders after suffering a few losses in the beginning of the season. Lamont team, again, they're bouncing back. This is going to be a huge game in the Southern Burbs. Wheaton North versus Wheaton Warrenville South, big rivalry game, as everyone knows in that area. Wheaton Warrenville South almost beat St. Charles North. We'll see what happens. Wheaton North lost to Batavia last week. Two teams, especially Wheaton Warrenville South, if they want to get into the playoffs, this is a big game. And again, I had this game as a circle twice because I think this game is going to be a very energetic game. And when you have rivals, anything can happen. Next game, talking about another rivalry game. Sycamore versus Kalen, the Kalen Knights. Kalen Knights bounce back big with a win. Sycamore is undefeated. You talk about a big game in that northwestern Burbs area. That's a big game. And again, with Kalen, overall, Troy Carlson, Eric Johnson, they are on fire. Offensive line's looking good as well. Taft versus Kenwood. Taft is they're bouncing back, people. They're getting better. They're getting better every week. This Kenwood team, they're bouncing back too. They had some tough wins. We thought Kenwood was going to be the beast in this state. We will see. This is another close watch game. Bennett versus St. Lawrence. Bennett Academy suffered some losses so far this mid-season. They're going against a tough St. Lawrence team that has been proven in the big games. They've won the big games. The St. Lawrence team is serious. Aaron Ball, he is killing it. This is a big game. Chicago Hope Academy, Marion Central Catholic. Marion Central Catholic is bouncing back. The Chicago Hope Academy team, unbelievable. A good group of young pool of talent taking on a Marion Central Hurricane team that absolutely killed it last week. Benacor, I think it was 5 touchdowns. Quarterback had 6 touchdowns. You talk about the big game in the Chicagoland Christian, newly crowned Chicagoland Christian Conference. This is that game. Piatone takes on Mantino. Big rivalry game. Especially, I used to coach at Interstate 8. It's a big rivalry game. Mantino is looking good this season. Can Mantino get the big upset over Piatone? Because if they do, they're in the driver's seat. They have a good shot getting to the playoffs. So this is a game that you must keep an eye on. The Blue Devils have been challenging teams. Even they lost to Wilmington. They challenged Wilmington. They're looking good. This is going to be an excellent game to keep an eye out for. Providence Catholic takes on Montini. Providence Catholic has had some tough losses. Montini, undefeated on a hot streak. What a game. This is a battle. And again, Providence, this is their game where they got to ball out. Unless, because if they lose this game, it's serious danger. So this is a game you got to check out. IC versus St. Francis. The big battle in DuPage County. And overall, IC looking great. Undefeated. Great. Defense. Unbelievable. Taking on a St. Francis team. They got a big win against Providence. Juliet Catholic. They're taking on an IC team. IC has been, in the past games, they've won. The St. Francis team is on and off. We will see what St. Francis team do we get. Alessio has been on fire. We will see. And the last one, Wheaton Academy versus Bishop McNamara. Wheaton Academy, 1 loss. Bishop McNamara, new conference, the Chicago Christian Lane Conference. Can they get that W? They had a tough loss last week, if I'm not mistaken, with Bishop McNamara. We will see what happens. What a week. This week is unbelievable. Just the amount of games and talented two teams facing each other. A lot of deciding factors up in the air with these games, especially with contenders, pretenders, overall playoff points. This is a serious week, people. Get ready. Week 6. Make sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'm Deep Dish Football live tonight, 6 p.m. Breakfast with Coach Big Pete, Saturday, 9 a.m. DuPage Run Shoot show with me and my co-host Patrick Codo on Saturday, on Thursday night, I apologize. And again, give me those stats. I need those stats for my article, Sunday conclusion article, so you can be featured in my Sunday conclusion article. Send me those stats. Email coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. November 12th, last recruiting seminar ever I'm going to be doing at the Westmont Public Library. It's free, Free, free. So make sure, if you want to learn about recruiting for classes of 2025, 2026, 2027, and 2028, you have to RSVP with me. It's at the Westmont Library, November 12th. There's no Bears game that day. So please let me know. Tell me how many people are coming. Email me, coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. Limited seating, by the way. Limited seating, just to remind you guys. Again, if you like my work, feel free to leave a tip / donation via PayPal link, Venmo link below. Thank you guys so much for joining. I know this was a quick one. I feel that a lot of action going on, so I'm actually doing some more articles too. So definitely, this is going to be a good week, everyone, and can't wait to watch some good football for week 6. Can you believe it? We're almost 2/3 done with the season. Unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for joining and watching. And I'll see you guys on Deep Dish Football Live, 6 p.m. tonight.